take this to killing school. Class start next week. You gotta at least have 2 bodies.
Lil Jeff wasn't just another street rapper. He lived every bar he spit and made sure the whole world saw it. From the hit that took out Monty and Lil Rob to the one that claimed NLMBBTY. Jeff wasn't just talking about beef, he brought it live for everybody to see. In this video, we're taking a look at the times Lil Jeff shot his ops on camera. The killing of Monty and Lil Rob is one of the most notorious moments. It's crazy how one man can brag about killings through the lyrics in his music and other random videos shared online. What's even crazier is that Lil Jeff got tattoos that allegedly signified the number of people he had killed. For lovers of drill music, this might seem like a normal thing between rappers who beef with each other. But Lil Jeff's bragging and dead shaming didn't quite cut it. He took it a step further and attacked his ops live on video. One of his very first kills, recorded live, happened near a school. The rapper allegedly ambushed 2 teenage boys, Monty and Lil Rob, in a surveillance footage clip. The boys were attacked around the train tracks, not too far from the school, while they were out on a lunch break but never returned. The clip showed that a pair of armed men, driving a dark-colored SUV, were responsible for pulling the trigger. They shot at both Monty and Lil Rob with one intention: to end them. Moments after the shooting, the armed men hurried into the vehicle and sped off southwards on Wabash before swerving onto Madison Road. Back at the scene, a bystander recorded the whole thing, showing the victims helplessly sprawled on the bare floor. One victim appeared lifeless with his body facing up, while the other tried to struggle. Eyewitnesses could be heard squealing in shock as they watched the 2 young men die right in front of them. One of the eyewitnesses recounted that she was grazed by a bullet but had managed to escape during the ambush. Another clip of the shootout surfaced, showing people running in all directions, trying to find safety. While this was happening, Lil Jeff saw it as the perfect time to brag about the murders. He shared a clip of himself riding in a black-colored SUV, which was allegedly the same vehicle that attacked the teenage boys. Lil Jeff also donned a black face mask and black clothing, which matched the description of the assailants. In a somewhat brazen manner, Lil Jeff seemed to feel accomplished, vibing and rapping to a song while driving in the vehicle. He didn't mind showing off the faces of his company, which included 2 other guys. As if that wasn't enough self-snitching, Lil Jeff went even further, claiming the hit on Monty and Lil Rob. Lil Jeff took his usual spot behind the wheel of a moving vehicle, updating his fans about how the shooting went. Although he refrained from mentioning names, he explicitly talked about firing bullets and wearing a black outfit during the incident.
The shit will start happening, and y'all know this by now. I went black for like a week, and poof.
Where you at?
Gotta go. After that one, poof. I came back, poof. Long live them though.
Lil Jeff wasn't the only one who was accelerating when it came to dissing the dead ops. In fact, the entire Bloodhound crew seemed to be standing on business when it came to claiming the hit on Monty and Lil Rob. One time when the rapper shared a snap on his stories, fans could see a group gathering, with each member showing off their icy wristwatches, while making a toast with drinks in plastic cups. Lil Jeff's caption on the image read, "This fade my dirty ops, they can't sue this no move." While Lil Jeff was at it, Q50, his closest pal and cousin, also hinted that they might have plotted Monty and Lil Rob's deaths in one of his raps. He rapped, "Blooded C said he trying to go spin, we can spin downtown, let's 2 got left." While some fans believed that Q50 was simply hinting at their involvement in the murders, others thought it was just a diss track. One person quipped that they purposely leave their lines open for interpretation. It's all a part of their killer humor. Another person commented, "This really wasn't claiming it, NGO. The only line I saw him claiming it at was when he said, 'We tapped that, we knew he was hit when he started to hollow.'" The diss tracks kept coming, with Lil Jeff even taunting his ops by claiming that he was happy they were grieving. In another shared post, he captured a picture of his wrist, which displayed 2 wristwatches, one of which was a $400 Cartier bust down. Lil Jeff captioned the image, "LOL tried to turn me down but they turned me up." The display of wristwatches made sense, considering the fact that the beef had started after Monty and Lil Rob had stolen wristwatches and a huge neck chain from Lil Rob. Monty and Lil Rob later taunted Lil Jeff over fake jewelry in a video. The boys referred to the Bloodhounds as their ops, although they maintained that the accessories were fake. They decorated their wrists with the stolen wristwatches while swinging the neckpiece in front of the camera. Lil Jeff didn't slow down in attacking the boys who had taken his jewelry, continuing his retaliation.
I look up, the nigga taking off down the stairs with 5 more action. And I'm like, damn, I thought nigga was gangster. The whole time I'm right there still working with him. I'm telling them we could keep this.
Lil Jeff and his crew had a reputation for keeping things ruthless, often boasting about violent acts. But despite his claims of involvement in various murders, police never officially labeled him as a killer. However, late last month, over a year after a murder, authorities announced they had made a breakthrough. They arrested Tommy Coleman, a Chicago native in the 5700 block of North Mason Avenue. Coleman was identified as one of the 3 assailants who killed Monty and Lil Rob. During his first court appearance, prosecutors revealed that one of Coleman's accomplices had died in June 2024, just months after the murders. Interestingly, Lil Jeff himself died in June 2024 while attempting to kill another victim in the middle of the street. The final suspect in the shooting, James Allison, a 20-year-old, was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and other related crimes. Like Coleman, Allison also faces felony charges. Another well-known murder involving Lil Jeff was the broad daylight shooting of NLMB Ty on May 5, 2024, just weeks before Lil Jeff's own death. This attack took place in the Chatham neighborhood around 5 p.m. The victims, Bloodhound members, were standing in front of Happy Liquor Food Store at 7901 S Cottage Grove Avenue when 4 men in 2 dark-colored vehicles arrived. The assailants quickly exited their cars, rushed towards their targets, and opened fire. The attackers then fled the scene. One victim, a 25-year-old, survived despite gunshot wounds to his arm, leg, and foot, and was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center. The second victim was also injured in the foot and received treatment at Trinity Hospital. The third victim, 36-year-old NLB BTY, wasn't as lucky and died from multiple gunshot wounds shortly after arriving at the hospital. Authorities later investigated the shooting, focusing on identifying the perpetrators. The Chicago Police Department issued a temporary closure of the liquor store due to the danger posed by the shooting. Michelle Harris, whose ward includes the liquor store, supported the closure, urging the community to work together to ensure the location becomes a positive business. Meanwhile, online speculation spread, with many people believing Lil Jeff was involved in the shooting. Some Reddit users analyzed the video of the shooting, suggesting Lil Jeff was among the attackers based on his appearance and clothing. There was significant debate over why Lil Jeff would target a member of NLMB, especially since they seemed to have a good relationship. Some theories pointed to a shootout between rival gangs, while others speculated Lil Jeff might have been part of a larger conspiracy to take down enemies. Despite the theories, the police investigation remained ongoing, with no arrests made, and the murder of NLB Ty was not officially solved. However, the drill community widely believes that Lil Jeff played a significant role in the crime. Lil Jeff's reign of violence didn't stop there. Just weeks before his death, he allegedly targeted another rival, Lil Poo, in a personal vendetta linked to family. Lil Poo's murder came shortly after the death of Lil Jeff's cousin Z Money, who was shot over 20 times on Avalon Avenue. Lil Jeff and his friend Q50 were visibly grief-stricken over Z Money's death, and the retaliation against Lil Poo became part of Lil Jeff's boastful narrative. Lil Jeff even mocked Lil Poo's death in a song, claiming that Lil Poo was ambushed and killed when he arrived home. However, some people believe Lil Jeff wasn't actually responsible for Lil Poo's death, and that he only claimed it to maintain his gang persona. After Lil Jeff's own death, a friend of Lil Poo posted a tribute to him, adding to the speculation. Lil Jeff wasn't the only one dissing Lil Poo, as Lil Poo had affiliations with various gangs from the East Side and Trap City, though he kept his associations mostly off social media. In another incident, Lil Jeff set his sights on Jaleel Goins, a known Trap City member. Goins was murdered while riding in a rideshare car in Little Italy on the west side. The shooter approached the car and opened fire on Goins, killing him. The rideshare driver, who was present at the scene, struggled to get Goins to the hospital in time, and Goins was declared dead shortly after arrival at Rush University Medical Center. The police called it a senseless killing, but the investigation didn't provide many answers. The rideshare driver, Robert Smith, later appeared on live TV, explaining the tragic situation and the challenges of getting to the hospital in time to save Goins. These events highlight the ongoing cycles of violence and revenge in Chicago's drill scene. where rivalries and personal losses fuel a tragic and dangerous environment.
Because there was a car coming through, and then I turned to him and said, "Hey, I'm going to take you to the hospital." And he said, "Okay." Then the next time I stopped, I had to stop at a light because there was two cars coming through the intersection, so I couldn't run it immediately.
Back in March 2023, we discussed the death of Lil Jeff's beloved cousin, an event that marked a significant turning point for the rapper. It drove him into a violent rampage as he began to target various gang members, convinced that they were responsible for his cousin's death. Eventually, Lil Jeff confirmed that Trap City was behind his cousin's murder, which fueled his ongoing feud with the gang. This wasn't about a stolen chain as some believed, but a deep-rooted vendetta. Jaleel Goins, a prominent member of Trap City, became one of Lil Jeff's targets, and after his death, Lil Jeff, along with his cousin Q50, recorded a diss track titled Coffin, aimed at Trap City. Another rumor that followed Lil Jeff throughout his career was his alleged involvement in the killing of a female opponent. This unconfirmed incident occurred on the early hours of November 1, 2023. Lil Deuce and D-Money, well-known female gangsters, were sitting inside a parked car on Avalon Avenue when two gunmen opened fire, killing both of them. The motive for the shooting remained unclear, and despite speculation that Lil Jeff was involved, there was no concrete evidence to link him to the murders. Months later, Lil Jeff appeared to hint at his involvement when he posted a cryptic message on social media, quoting a King Von song and including an emoji of a woman's hat. Some fans interpreted this as confirmation of his role in D-Money's death. But perhaps the most significant crime tied to Lil Jeff's killing spree occurred just before his own death. Lil Jeff was allegedly responsible for the deaths of 11 individuals, though this figure was never officially confirmed. On June 8, 2024, Lil Jeff's life came to a tragic end in a surveillance-captured chase. The footage showed him pursuing a man in yellow shorts, and although the video didn't show whether Lil Jeff hit his target, it was clear that he was intent on taking down his opponent. As the unknown man fled, Lil Jeff chased him through an alley. Suddenly, Lil Jeff was hit by multiple gunshots. The shooter kept firing as Lil Jeff fell to the ground, mortally wounded. In a retaliatory response, members of the Bloodhounds, led by Q50, launched an attack. Another clip showed men firing into the air, likely aiming for Lil Jeff's attacker. However, they quickly retreated, and it's believed that the target had been eliminated. Fans speculated that Q50 may have shot at the car that was involved in Lil Jeff's killing. Despite his injuries, Lil Jeff's crew rushed him to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead on arrival. Authorities soon arrived at the scene, finding numerous shell casings and bloodstains scattered across the area. The location of the shooting was identified as the 6600 block of S. Rhodes Avenue in Chicago. Journalist Kyle Mazza was one of the first to break the news of Lil Jeff's death, posting about it on social media. The tragic incident quickly spread online, with people on Reddit discussing the circumstances surrounding his death. Some fans criticized Lil Jeff's friends for not doing enough to protect him, while others expressed sorrow over how the rapper fell. In the aftermath of Lil Jeff's death, tributes flooded in from both fans and fellow rappers. His friend and fellow artist D-Tweaker shared heartfelt posts on Instagram expressing his grief. One of Lil Jeff's most emotional tributes came from his girlfriend Pony365, who posted a message revealing a different side of the rapper. She described him as a sweetheart and shared how he would do anything for her, explaining how people misunderstood him. As for Lil Jeff's killer, he was later identified as a member of Trap City, a group with which the Bloodhounds had been in conflict. According to an interview with Trap City members, the root of the animosity between the two gangs was a stolen chain. This incident marked the culmination of a long-standing feud that ultimately led to Lil Jeff's death. As for Lil Jeff's death,
He stole the chain, bro. We tried like he took it. He stole my own chain.
After Lil Jeff's death was confirmed, members of Trap City, including Trap City Rob, were seen in a viral video celebrating his demise. They visited the porch of the home where Lil Jeff had been gunned down and recreated the event, much to the amusement of the other gang members. While they taunted and celebrated the death of their rival, something stood out. Unlike the rest of Trap City, Lil Jeff's killer stayed unusually calm and avoided drawing attention to himself. Trap City Rob, in particular, appeared composed and refused to join the bandwagon of trolls. This behavior has continued since the incident, with Rob choosing to stay silent on the matter. In an interview with DJ V, when asked about the infamous shooting, Rob declined to speak on it, instead making an effort to distance himself from the chaos.
I just feel like they bogus, man. Whoever started that, man, please stop doing stuff like that. Like, for real, it's like real life, though, you know? So, it's not no video game. It's not no movie, you know what I'm saying? It's reality, so.
Yeah.
Even though Trap City Rob didn't tease or taunt his deceased rival, he was arrested for the murder of Lil Jeff on October 31st. However, the police released him on November 1st due to a lack of evidence linking him to the crime. Following his release, many fans believed Rob was innocent and suggested that if he were to be tried, it would likely be under the defense of self-defense. If you found this clip interesting and want to stay updated on the latest trends, be sure to click the card on the screen for first-hand information.